Hey everyone, today I really want to talk about a 180-day reset. There's a blueprint for radical life change, and I'd like for each and every one of you to listen along and try to execute some of these elements to really radically change your life. 6 months, that's all I'm asking you to commit to. Not a year, not 5 years, just 180 days. 180 days of intentional, focused action. And here's what blows my mind. Most people will spend 6 months complaining about their job, 6 months talking about and thinking about and dreaming of getting in shape, 6 months wishing they had more money. They'll give 6 months to their problems without even trying, but they won't give 6 months to their solutions. Think about that. Right now, 6 months from today is going to arrive, whether you do something about your situation or you're not. The only question is, who are you going to be when it gets here? 6 months changes everything. So let me tell you why this specific time frame is absolutely critical. A year from now feels like forever. Our brains can't even process that kind of timeline. So you end up procrastinating, delaying, and not accomplishing. In 30 days, that's just enough runway to build real momentum and see transformational results. It's just not enough time. But 6 months, that's the magic zone. It's urgent enough to lift the fire under you, but substantial enough to completely reconstruct your reality. Think about it this way. If you started learning a new language today, in 6 months you can hold conversations. If you started a business today, you could have paying customers and real revenue in 6 months. If you started getting in shape today, people wouldn't even recognize you 6 months from now. The question is not whether 6 months is enough time. The question is whether you're willing to show up for those 180 days or you're just going to continue to do the same things that you did yesterday. And here's something I need you to understand right now, and really understand. Your current trajectory is a choice. That job you hate, you're choosing it. The bank account balance that stresses you out, you've chosen it. Those relationships that drain your energy, you're choosing them. I know it sounds harsh, but stay with me. This isn't about blame. It's about power. Because once you realize that your current situation is the result of thousands of tiny decisions you've made, you suddenly realize you have the power to make different decisions starting today. Your life isn't happening to you. Your life is responding to you. And if you don't like what it's responding with, then it's time to change what you're putting in. The foundation is to know your non-negotiables. It's extremely important. So before we dive into tactics and strategies, you need to get crystal clear on something. And that what you need to get crystal clear on are those non-negotiables. These are the absolute must-haves for your next 6 months. Not your wishes, not your it would be nice ifs, but your absolute requirements. Here's what I want you to do. And actually do this, please. Not just nod along and forget about it 5 minutes from now. I want you to grab your phone, open your notes app, and answer these 3 questions. What am I no longer willing to tolerate in my life? What result would make these 6 months worth it, even if I achieved nothing else? What's the one thing I've been avoiding that I know would change everything? Now, I want you to write those answers down. I want you to write them down right now. Because until you define what matters, everything will feel urgent and nothing will actually matter. So let me break down what real transformation actually looks like. Because most people have that completely backwards. Most people think that transformation, it's about motivation and inspiration and waiting for the perfect moment when everything just clicks. I'm the first one to tell you that's garbage. Transformation is about architecture. It's about building systems that make success inevitable rather than relying on willpower that runs out by Tuesday afternoon. Over the next 6 months, you're going to build 3 specific systems. The first system is the morning protocol. So listen carefully. What you do in the first hour of your day sets the tone for the entire day. And what you do every day for 6 months, that literally creates your life. Here's what I'm challenging you to do. For the next 180 days, wake up 60 minutes before you have to. That's it. Just 1 hour. But in that hour, you're going to do 3 specific things. I want you to move your body for 20 minutes. I don't care if it's walking, push-ups, yoga, dancing around your living room. Just move around. I want you to learn something new for 20 minutes. Listen to a podcast. Watch an educational video. Take 20 minutes to feed your mind. And I want you to plan your day for 20 minutes. I don't want your day to just happen. Write down your 3 non-negotiable tasks that would make today a win. That's 180 hours of personal development. That's 180 hours of taking control before the world starts to take control of you. That's how you become unrecognizable to your old self. And here's a reality check. You can't transform your life if you're constantly stressed about money. You just can't. Financial pressure distorts everything. It distorts your decisions, your relationships, your opportunities. So over the next 6 months, you need to build what I call a revenue engine. This is separate from your job. This is something that you can control, something you own, something that could eventually replace your income if you wanted it to. Maybe it's freelancing using a skill you already have. Maybe it's buying and reselling items online. Maybe it's creating digital products. Maybe it's consulting. Maybe it's starting a service business. I don't care what it is, but you need to start building it today. Not planning to build it, actually building it. Here's your challenge that I challenge each and every one of you with. Within 30 days, make your first dollar from this revenue engine. I don't care if it's $10 or $1,000. Just prove to yourself that you can create money outside of trading time for dollars at a job. You have 30 days to do that. Then over the remaining 5 months, scale it. Your goal, replace at least 20% of your monthly income. That's enough to give you breathing room. That's enough to give you options. That's enough to change how you negotiate with the world. Now we have system 3, which is the relationship filter. This one's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Look around at your life right now. The 5 people that you talk to most often, are they pushing you forward or are they holding you back? I'm not saying you need to cut people off or be cruel, but I am saying that you need to be intentional about who gets your time and energy over these next 6 months. There are people in your life who will support your growth, and I'm sure there's people in your life who will subtly sabotage it because your success makes them uncomfortable about their own lack of progress. You need to identify which is which, who is who. And over the next 6 months, actively seek out people who are where you want to be. Join communities, attend events, engage online with people who are building what you want to build. Proximity to success breeds success. The people that you spend the most time with are how you become to think, how you become to act. So choose wisely. Now there's daily non-negotiables. So let's get tactical. Systems are great, but execution's everything. So here's your daily non-negotiables over the next 180 days. So the first non-negotiable, this one, critical task. Every single day before you check your email, before you scroll, before you do anything else, you complete one task that moves you towards your 6-month goal. Just one. But it has to be done first. This is how you make progress inevitable. Because even on your worst day, even when everything goes wrong, you still move forward. String together 180 days of that and you're unstoppable. The second non-negotiable is the learning hour. You have to learn something every single day. It's paramount to your success. Read for 20 minutes. Listen to a relevant podcast during your commute. Watch educational content instead of mindless entertainment. Here's why this matters. 6 months from now, you'll have consumed roughly 90 hours of education. That's more than most people consume in 5 years. You'll be speaking differently, thinking differently, and seeing opportunities others miss. The third non-negotiable, the evidence file. Every single day, write down one thing you did that your old self wouldn't have done. One small win. One moment of discipline. One time you chose growth over comfort. Because this isn't about motivation. This is about building evidence that you're actually changing. Because there'll be days where you feel like nothing's working. And on those days, you'll open this file and you'll see proof that you're not the same person who started this journey, and that will help you continue on. So let me talk about what's actually going to happen over these next 6 months, because most motivational content skips this part, and then you feel like a failure when the reality hits. The first month, it's the honeymoon phase, right? We all know that when we have new jobs. The first 30 days are going to feel amazing. You're excited, motivated, everything feels possible. Enjoy it, but don't trust it. Motivation is a terrible long-term strategy because it always runs out, regardless of who you are. The second month, the grind is going to begin. This is where most people quit. This is where you're not going to. The excitement wears off, results aren't showing up as fast as you wanted, you're tired, you're busy, the old patterns, they just start calling your name. This is the most important month. This is where you prove to yourself that you're serious. Push through month 2 and you've got a real shot at finishing what you started. Month 3 is really the first results. Around days 60 to 90, something interesting happens. You start seeing actual results. Maybe more money's coming in. Maybe it's physical changes to your body. Maybe it's new opportunities showing up. But this is validation that your effort is working. Then we land on month 4, the plateau. Just when you think you've got momentum figured out, you hit a plateau. Progress slows down. You might even backslide a little bit. It's normal. This is expected. The people who succeed are the ones that keep showing up even when the results aren't obvious. Month 5 is the breakthrough. It's if you've stayed consistent through the plateau, month 5 is where everything clicks. Systems that felt hard become automatic. Results compound. Other people start noticing the changes. This is where it really gets fun. Month 6, the new norm. By month 6, you're not trying anymore. You're just being. The person who started this journey 6 months ago feels like a stranger. There's a truth about transformation, and here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. Transformation is complicated and plainly just hard. The formula is simple. Show up every day, do the work, don't quit. That's it. There's no secret. There's no hack. There's no shortcut. But simple doesn't mean easy. Because you're going to have to show up on days when you're tired. On the days when nothing seems to be working. On days when everyone around you is telling you to give up. Those are the days that matter most. Those are the days that separate the people who transform their lives from the people who just talk about it. So here's what happens next. You're going to close this, and within 90 seconds, your old life is going to start calling you back. You'll think about checking your email, scrolling social media, reaching for that bag of chips, complaining about your job, or doing whatever you usually do. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can slip back into your old patterns, or you can make a different choice. I'm challenging you to make a different choice. Right now, before you do anything else, open up a note on your phone or grab a piece of paper and write at the top, my next 6 months. Then write down the one result that would make this worth it, the one thing I'm going to do differently starting today, and the one person I'm going to tell about this commitment. Do that right now. Because 6 months from now, you're going to look back at this exact moment as either the day everything changed or the day you had a chance to change it and didn't take it. Which story do you want to tell? because 6 months from now, it's coming. Are you going to be the same person, or are you going to make an effort to do something differently? Make every moment count. Make every moment matter. Make this the next 6 months that changes everything. It's your move.